Let's get to the next part here, and this is about some of the stuff going on inside of Israel. And look, a lot of this is very counter-narrative, and it's definitely counter to a lot of what you're going to hear on national television. Let's start with the first one, because this is very important to me. But let's put it up there on the screen. Israel is now running low on defensive interceptors. So this is according to U.S. officials, quote, raising concerns about the country's ability to counter long-range ballistic missiles. Now, this actually fits with something we're about to show you, which were some strikes by the Iranians on downtown Tel Aviv, or sorry, in populated areas of Israel in the middle of the day. Now, why does this matter? And actually put this out on Twitter, Krystal. You know, there's been a lot made on cable news about the, stupendous Israeli operation against the Iranians and the incompetence of the Iranian military. You can't deny that. When you have guys in a single bunker and your whole command and control structure is getting taken out, yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. Not even embarrassing. It's just basic incompetence at that level. Their ability to basically be penetrated by Mossad and all of that. Humiliating. But what does it say about Israel that they launch an operation and less than a week later, they are already running out of interceptors? And so what does that say? Well, it says that, who does have some interceptors? Oh, me, actually. And me and the rest of you, our fellow U.S. citizens. So the plan was basically, we can't handle this on our own. They knew it from day one.
Absolutely.
Remember, they're running low on interceptors, and according to them, they've taken out 2/3 of ballistic missile launchers. So what if they didn't take them out? They would have run out 3 days ago. And so you're actually already seeing panic inside of Israel because they know. They can look at the math and say, hey, this is not good. And already we're watching ballistic missiles hitting various different targets. So with all that said, guys, can we put some of this up here on the screen and just show people, this is some of the latest that's coming out of Israel. I mean, these are crazy ass images. These are in the middle of the day. And this is a major hospital. It's called the Soroka Hospital, which according to the Israelis, it's in southern Israel, direct hit by Iranian missiles. Apparently it services over 1 million people. We don't yet have some of the casualty figures and all of that has come out. But I mean, look at this in the middle of a city. You have a ballistic missile that's come down in the middle and is basically leveling this entire thing. These are crazy images, and these are in the middle of the day, not even launched at night. It just goes to show that the more that Iran, even with its very limited capacity, is able to fire, they are beginning to get through. The Israelis claim they still got about 1/3 of them left. They're trying to take them out because they have air superiority there. But look, the Iranians, they may be dumb, but they're not that dumb. One of the things that the Iranians and the North Koreans have done is they have these mobile launchers, which they just drive all around constantly and have, camouflage and all of that specifically to maintain, strikeability, even if they do lose their air defense. So this is very, very devastating inside of Israel.
Suddenly, Saagar, people seem to care again about hospitals being used as military targets. Suddenly, now that Israel had a hospital hit, which I condemn, I don't support that at all. I don't think hospitals are legitimate targets, but suddenly people are concerned about that again. So, wish that would get applied across the board. And here's the thing, Israelis, this is the world you authored. Congratulations. This is the world you authored, where any civilian target is totally legitimate, where there are no rules, no norms, nothing that's out of bounds. That is the world that you created. So it's horrific, but that's where we are. So, save me until I see a single one of you condemn the multiple attacks on the entire medical system in Gaza. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I completely agree. And I'll just say, falls a little bit on deaf ears when I hear about civilian casualties and targeting civilian facilities like hospitals.
Look
and all
how many
this.
civilians they've killed in Iran.
Is there even a hospital
Vastly
that
more.
Is there even a hospital standing left in Gaza? Whatever. Somebody can go and can check
None that are
one
undamaged
for me. What I do know is that they're, of course, though, using this as a propaganda campaign. The Israeli foreign minister came out today and said that they're going to begin, ramping up even more targets on Iranian facilities in retaliation for this attack on the hospital. And, you do see some of that going on. But at the very least, I mean, the fact that they can't keep one of their largest hospitals safe from an Iranian ballistic missile is crazy. That is just not what was offered up. And keep in mind that a lot of what we're able to show you is very limited because of some censorship. Now, let's also get, though, to some of the other things that are going on inside of Israel. And this is always, very whitewashed by the United States and the Western press. But Let's put B4, please, up on the screen. The Israeli economy is really suffering right now, and also a lot of foreigners who are inside of the country are doing their absolute best to get out. So here, Birthright Israel, apparently the trip has collapsed as some 2,800 participants were boarding cruise ships from Israel to Cyprus, and in some cases under the protection of the Israeli Navy, basically trying to get the hell out of there. Keep in mind, remember, that there's been a lot of shutdown of civilian aviation inside of the country. And, you know, looking at stuff like this, like let's put B5 as well up on the screen just to show you what's being broadcast. You can see here a huge banner for those who are listening is just Mr. President finished the job. A massive banner across one of, I think it's a train station, which has Donald Trump's face and a major appeal here to Americans, but also
to him in particular.
Yeah, to Trump in particular. Let's keep this in mind as well. You know, Israeli society and life right now is pretty crazy. I mean, let's think about this. You know, basically every single night and sometimes during the day, their phones are going off about ballistic incoming missiles. They're basically living in bomb shelters and coming up and out, you know, variously. Society is completely and totally disrupted. Just imagine, you can't run an economy like that or run a society only for a very, very short period of time. It also has revealed some pretty, you know, some social schisms, is that a polite way of saying it, about some of the things that are going on. Let's go ahead and put this up there on the screen. For example, B2, please. And just to show everybody some of the video, you saw some videos that were coming out of Israel, actually of settlers and others who are locking out other settlers of shelters. Here she says, we're going soon, there was going to be a siren. We went to the next door house to a bomb shelter. We were not allowed in. They had closed the doors and closed the parking lot. We were knocking on the door. They came out and said, we don't have to let you in. We have no space. So really like dystopian scene, right?
And I believe that woman is actually Ukrainian.
Yes,
who,
a refugee.
Who was locked out because she's not Jewish. Yeah. And the Palestinians who live inside of Israel and are citizens of Israel, I mean, first of all, there's just vastly less infrastructure in predominantly Palestinian areas, vastly fewer bomb shelters. And then you can put B3 up on the screen, just so you know this isn't just like a couple TikToks. There's reporting about the way that there is a, you know, systematic discrimination. It's an apartheid society. There are some 65 laws on the books that discriminate explicitly against, I'm not even talking about the West Bank and Gaza. I'm talking about the Palestinian citizens of Israel. There are 65 laws on the books that discriminate explicitly against them. And then you have the endemic social discrimination of not for you, Israeli shelters exclude Palestinians as bombs rain down. So yeah, the ugly underbelly of Israeli society really being exposed in this moment of crisis.
Yeah, look, you could see it very clearly for yourself. And actually, there have been some Palestinians who have been, targeted in Israel, and apparently they didn't have as many bomb shelters. Finally, let's put B6 up on the screen. This is another very important point. This is only what we're able to show you. Keep in mind, with all these Western journalists who are inside of Israel, they're going to get their asses kicked out if they report too much. So the IDF has officially updated its restrictions on reporting on any missile drone impact sites. Quote, any person who prints or publishes printed matter or a publication regarding the location of a strike hit by the enemy or war material will be submit to the military censor for approval. So military censors are running everything that we are seeing out of the country. The only even reason we know about this hospital is because they want to publicize it as being hit. We have no idea some of the other stuff that's actually been hit inside of the country. We have to rely on some open source reporting. And already that policy has been put into effect. Put B7, please, up on the screen. Israel has detained a photographer for Al Jazeera after police say that he revealed the exact location of one of Iranian missile strikes. Remember what they did to my friend Trey Yinks, who had the temerity to do his job and show that the Israeli Pentagon, which was located in the middle of downtown Tel Aviv, was hit by an Iranian missile, and they freaked out at him on camera. And then multiple members of the Israeli police and or the IDF and others started targeting him, saying that he was doing the enemy's battle damage assessment for him. So just keep that in mind.
Look in his
terms of what the stuff that we are looking.
Go look at the replies to when he posts stuff on Twitter, and you'll see the reaction to him daring to be a journalist.
Right? Yeah, they hate him. They hate his guts. So that's what's going on inside of the country. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. And they're projecting a vision of we're winning the war and all of this. But this is always what I say is look, it's only been less than a week. What if this goes on for a month? What if this goes on for months? Well, it's not going to, because Big Daddy, the United States, is probably going to come and solve all of this for you. But this really, in my opinion, shatters the image of like this country which can stand alone. It's like nothing could be further from the truth. The fact that you can't even go a week without running out of interceptors, even after you pulled off these spectacular, sabotage operations inside of Iran. Like, this is not, look, I'm not going to downplay the IDF's combat strength and all that on the ground, but there's a level of technological sophistication and of independence of the country which is being sold right now to the American public, which is very unfortunate, and it just could not be further from the truth.
Well, and that
you can't last a week,
right?
Okay?
And that also exposes the fact that at any time, any American president, whether it is Joe Biden or Donald Trump, can come in and say, we're done here. You're done with the genocide. You're not starting a war with Iran, because they are dependent on us. We shipped, like hundreds of Hellfire missiles in advance of this attack.
Yes.
Like, don't play dumb. We wanted this. We are involved in this. This is our war. They cannot do anything without our support. And if we decided we were going to pull that support, it would end. It would be over. So, there's often an attempt to be like, oh, well, they're a sovereign nation and that we can't just tell them what it. Yes, you can. No, you actually can, because without us, they're out of interceptor missiles in a week, apparently. And I mean, of course they are, because they've picked a fight with every neighbor around them practically.
Well, actually, these are just Iranians. That's the fun. The thing is about the high-level interceptors. Hamas got things that you need to use for intercept. That's Iron Dome. That's like pedestrian stuff. This is the thing. Whenever you have a relatively sophisticated military, yes, even one that is pretty embarrassing, like Iran, you still have some military capacity, and it shows you. It actually does show you how incredible the United States and British and like NATO armed forces are, and the level of capacity that they have. But Israel is always held up as like somehow equivalent to that. It literally could not be further from from the truth. So keep it in mind. An American president literally can end this at any time. This is just like Ukraine. This is just like any of these other literal client states. I mean, they owe their entire existence to us, and it's pretty shocking. Both the censorship and the level of capacity that they have after just less than a week of war. I can't get over it.
I think that parallel with Ukraine is an important one to draw out, because in the same way that the right in particular understands correctly so, Ukraine as a proxy war, U.S. versus Russia. This is a proxy war.
Of course.
Right now, Israel versus Iran. And it's even more direct, just given our overwhelming yearly budget of supporting Israel over many decades. And so, even if we're not yet directly involved in offensive capacity, make no mistake about it, this is our war. We are right now engaged in a proxy war versus Iran. And the only question is whether or not we sort of, fully engage offensively and don't just do it through our proxy client state.
Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.